You're about to learn something most men go their entire lives without ever understanding. Not because it's complicated, but because no one ever explains it the right way. This isn't clickbait, no long stories, no useless theory, just one simple shift that will instantly change how women respond to you. And once you understand this, starting a conversation will never feel difficult again. Because the problem was never what to say. It was how you were thinking about it. Most men believe starting a conversation is about the perfect line, the perfect opener, the perfect words. So they overthink, they rehearse, they wait for the right moment. And by the time that moment comes, they hesitate. Or worse, they say something safe. Hey, how are you? What's your name? Nothing wrong with these, but they don't create impact. An attraction doesn't respond to safe. It responds to feeling. Here's the truth. When you approach a woman, she's not judging your words first. She's feeling your energy first. Your tone, your presence, your intention. Before you even speak, she already has an impression. That's why two men can say the exact same thing and get completely different reactions. One feels confident, the other feels unsure. Same words, different energy. So instead of asking, what should I say? Ask a better question. How do I want her to feel in the first 10 seconds? Because that's what actually matters. Now here's the shift. You're not there to impress her. You're not there to win her over. You're there because you chose to talk to her. That one mindset change removes pressure. And when pressure disappears, you become natural. Now let's talk about how to actually start. Forget clever lines. Forget memorized scripts. Start simple, but different. Say something real, something that creates a moment. For example, I saw you for a second, and I had to come say hi. Pause. Don't rush. Let it breathe. That pause matters, because now she feels something. Curiosity. Why did he come over? What is he like? Where's this going? You've already done something most men don't. You broke the pattern. Now here's where most guys mess up. They start talking too much. They try to keep the conversation alive. They fill every silence because they think silence is awkward. But silence is not your enemy. Silence is where attraction builds. When you stop talking, she starts thinking. And when she starts thinking, she starts engaging. That's how connection forms. Now, instead of trying to impress her, observe her. Pay attention. Say something specific. You seem like someone who notices everything, but doesn't say much. Now, this is different. This is not a generic compliment. This is an observation. And observations feel personal. When something feels personal, it creates depth. And depth creates interest. Now she's not just responding. She's involved. And involvement is what keeps the conversation alive. Now let's talk about confidence. Most men think confidence means being loud, or funny, or dominant. It doesn't. Confidence is calm. It's simple. It's someone who doesn't need to prove anything. You don't need to perform. You don't need to impress. You just need to be present. Because presence is rare, and rare is attractive. The Stoics understood this. They believed a man should control himself first, before trying to control anything else. And in conversations, that means controlling your reactions, your nerves, your need to impress. If you feel nervous, that's normal. But don't let it control your behavior. Stay grounded. Speak slower. Breathe. Because calm energy is magnetic. Now here's another mistake. Trying to be perfect. You don't need perfect words. You need real energy. Because people don't connect to perfection. They connect to authenticity. So stop trying to say the right thing. Start saying the real thing, and suddenly, everything becomes easier because you're not acting anymore. You're just interacting. And that's what makes conversations feel effortless. Now let's take this deeper, because starting the conversation is only half the game. What matters more is what happens next. This is where most men lose it. They start strong, then they switch into interview mode. Question after question, trying to keep things going. But attraction doesn't grow through interrogation. It grows through experience. So instead of asking safe questions like, what do you do? Where are you from? Ask something that creates emotion. What's something you enjoy that most people don't understand about you? Now you've changed the dynamic. This is no longer small talk. This is connection. Because now she has to think. And thinking creates engagement. Now here's the key. Don't react to everything she says. Respond selectively. If you react to everything, you lose impact. If you respond with intention, you create presence. Presence is what makes you stand out. Now let's talk about energy again, because this is where most men fail without realizing it. They approach with tension. They try not to mess up. They try to be liked, but that energy leaks, and she feels it instantly. So instead of trying to be liked, be okay with not being liked. That sounds strange, but it changes everything. Because now you're not seeking approval. You're expressing yourself. And expression creates attraction. Approval seeking destroys it. Now here's another powerful shift. Stop trying to extend the conversation. Most men stay too long. They stretch the interaction. They try to keep it alive. But the strongest move is knowing when to leave. Leave when the energy is good, not when it dies. Say something simple. I gotta go, but I like this. Pause. We should continue it. That's it. No pressure, no neediness, just confidence. Now something interesting happens. You leave her wanting more. And that's the key. Attraction grows in what's unfinished, not what's fully explored. The moment everything is clear, the mystery disappears. And when mystery disappears, so does the pull. Now let's zoom out. Everything we talked about comes down to one thing: energy. Not lines, not tricks. Energy. The way you show up, the way you carry yourself, the way you handle silence, the way you respond. That's what people feel. And people follow feeling, not logic. So if you want to improve your conversations, don't focus on words. Focus on presence. Because presence changes everything. When you're present, you don't overthink. You don't force. You don't chase. You simply interact. And that's when conversations become natural. Now here's the truth most men avoid. The reason you struggle is not lack of skill. It's lack of comfort with uncertainty. You want to control the outcome. You want to know it will go well. But attraction doesn't work like that. It lives in uncertainty, in curiosity, in not knowing what will happen next. And the moment you become comfortable with that, you become powerful. Because now you're not reacting. You're leading. And that's what makes you stand out. Not because you said something perfect, but because you felt different. If this helped you, comment. What do you struggle with more, starting conversations or keeping them interesting? And subscribe, because most men are trying harder. But the ones who win understand better. Now let's bring everything together. Because at this point, you don't need more lines. You need clarity. The truth is, starting a conversation has never been about saying something impressive. It's about creating a feeling. And that feeling comes from how you show up, not what you say. Think about it. The men who struggle the most are always thinking ahead. What should I say next? How do I keep this going? What if she loses interest? That mindset creates pressure, and pressure is felt immediately. But the men who stand out are not thinking about the next step. They're present in the current moment. They listen. They observe. They respond naturally. And that's what makes the interaction feel effortless. Now here's the final shift. Stop trying to make her like you. Start focusing on whether you like her. This changes everything. Because now you're not chasing approval. You're evaluating connection. And when you do that, your energy becomes grounded, stable, confident, not forced, not needy, just real. And real always stands out. This is where most men get it wrong. They believe attraction is created through effort, but attraction is actually created through restraint. Knowing when to speak, knowing when to pause, knowing when to leave. That control is what creates tension. And tension is what creates attraction. The Stoics believe that a man who controls himself becomes naturally powerful. Not loud, not dominant, but centered. And people are drawn to that. So the next time you see someone you want to talk to, don't overthink it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just go. Be simple. Be present. Be clear. Because the moment you stop trying to be impressive is the moment you become interesting. If this changed how you see conversations, comment. What's the one thing that holds you back from approaching? And if you want to master attraction, confidence, and modern relationships, subscribe. Because once you understand the psychology behind it, everything becomes easier.